Okay, so today I'm going to be teaching you how to crochet an Easter egg. So to make the egg, you will need a size F crochet hook and some yarn, usually worsted weight, some scissors just to cut the yarn, a stitch marker so you don't lose count, and some stuffing, and a tapestry needle, and that's it. Okay, so first you're going to make a magic ring or magic circle to, instead of a slip knot, basically to work in all your stitches into. You can test it by pulling on the tail just to see if it'll close. The goal is to have a working circle that you can crochet into, and you can close by pulling the tail. Okay, so let's try that one more time. You are going to wrap it around once and secure it, again forming an X shape and then securing that X shape with your thumb. Then insert your hook through the left side and then pull the working yarn on the right side through with your hook, and then just chain one to secure it. Feel free to rewind that if it's difficult. I know a lot of people will struggle with the magic circle, understandably so. It's kind of complicated and really hard to show on camera. Okay, so now you're going to work 6 single crochets into the center of the magic ring. So you just insert your hook through the center, pull the yarn through, then wrap it around one more time and pull it through all the loops on your hook. You can see me making the circle a little tighter. Insert, pull it out and wrap it around, pull it through. So make sure you have 6 in the circle. You can count the V's of the stitches, kind of, and that will tell you how many stitches you have. You'll probably have one extra V from the chain that you start out with when you're making the magic circle. So now you can close the magic ring by pulling on the end of the tail end of the circle. Now you're going to increase in each stitch around. That's 2 single crochets in each stitch around. You should have a total of 12 stitches at the end. So pull on the end of your tail to secure the center, close that hole, and then place your stitch marker on the 12th stitch, or the final stitch that you made of that round. And that way you can always find the end of your round without having to count or anything like that. So now you're going to work one single crochet in the first stitch and 2 single crochets in the second stitch, and that you'll follow that pattern all the way around the round for a total of 18 stitches. So you are increasing for the second stitch and then just working a single crochet for the other one. So when you come to the end of the round, you will not do what I just did, and then single crochet to the final stitch. So you'll still increase in that last stitch, and then move your stitch marker up into the new round on your final stitch, and now you're ready for the next round. In this round you will work one single crochet in each of the first 8 stitches, and then when you come to that 9th stitch you're going to increase, so that'd be 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and then you'll repeat that one more time. So you should have a total of 20 stitches by following this pattern. And then again, once you reach the end of the round, in this particular pattern, you'll increase in that last stitch, the one with the stitch marker in it, just like normal. Then you'll just take out your stitch marker and move it up to your final stitch of the round you just completed. So start turning your egg inside out after you've moved up that stitch marker. It probably won't stay this way, but it's good to go ahead and do it. So you will now be working counterclockwise instead of clockwise, which is what most of the time you'll be doing when working in the round, but turning it inside out gives it a special look and it makes decreasing a little easier, so I highly recommend you do that. If you don't do it right away, at least do it before you start decreasing. Okay, so going into your next round, there's nothing that difficult about this one. You're going to work one single crochet in each stitch around for 5 rounds. So that's a lot of rounds, so you can either tally them, or if you keep your stitch marker in the same place without moving it up, I can show you how to count. If you're new to crocheting though, I would probably recommend you just move your stitch marker like normal and tally them. So in the end of this first round here, you'll notice I just crochet around the stitch marker like normal, but I just keep it there. Also, don't have it in 2 stitches like I did. That's bad. Don't do that. Okay, so after that long 5 rounds, you can see here I didn't move mine up, so I'm kind of counting to figure out where my last stitch should be. Then I'll show you here how to do that. So you just count those V's, and they kind of go down diagonally, and then you can kind of count those and you'll see how many rounds you have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is 5 rounds, so now I can move my stitch marker up. Then I'm just putting a little bit of the tail inside the egg, which is now starting to look a little egg-like. And I even put in a little bit of stuffing as I go. You'll see I kind of just add some the more I go. So now we're going to work an invisible decrease, followed by 8 regular single crochets, and then we'll repeat this all around so you can get back down to 18 stitches. So to work an invisible decrease, you just go through the front loop instead of both loops, and then you're going to go into the next stitch and work through the front loop as well. So you haven't pulled anything through yet. Now you pull the yarn through both of those front loops and work kind of like a normal single crochet. Then make sure you work into the next stitch correctly because it's kind of confusing. Again, just working 8 single crochets like normal. Now we work our second invisible decrease. Again, you just work through the front loops of both of those, and then you wrap your yarn around, pull it through both of them, and then wrap your yarn around again, and pull it through all your loops. Now you just work 8 single crochet to the end. So you just work through these last 2, just normal single crochets, then you move your stitch marker up, just like normal, so you can keep track of your rounds. So I fast forward this part where it's a little clearer because I didn't show this off very well. Okay, so you're going to do 1 decrease and then 1 single crochet all around for a total of 12 stitches. I'm adding extra stuffing here. Okay, so for this final round, just work 6 invisible decreases like before, leaving you with 6 stitches. So just work through the front loops. Adding more stuffing here. So finally, just work through the last stitch, and you'll notice you still have a hole at the top, but it's okay. I'll show you how to finish that in a second. So cut the yarn, leave a bit of a tail so you can sew your hole shut at the top. And just pull out that yarn. You can remove your stitch marker now, you're done with that. And then grab a needle and thread the yarn onto the needle. Now you're going to work the needle through the front loops of each of those stitches around. Show you better here. So just the front loop, working it all around. Won't take very long. Okay, and then once you have all those done, you can just pull on that end and it should draw it closed. Okay, and you can see I'm playing with the egg here. And then now you just stick it through the center of that hole, which I didn't show, but just stick it through the center where it's kind of sticking out, and then put it through anywhere on the egg. Pull it through enough so that it retracts a little bit, and then now you can cut the yarn as close as you can to the egg. The yarn end should retract back into the egg, but if it doesn't, you can kind of poke it back through with a needle. So here's comparison. That one on the right turned out a lot bigger, and I do not know why. There's also an Easter egg basket. You can find the written pattern in the description as a PDF. Look forward to that tutorial. It's my own pattern. Make sure to like and subscribe for more.